morning at approximately 8:56, the Santa Rosa Police Department received 911 calls reporting a shooting on the campus of Ridgway High School. Officers arrived on the scene within minutes. We had a school resource officer on the Santa Rosa High School, which is adjacent to the Ridgway High School campus, who immediately responded to the scene. As officers arrived on the scene, they located multiple witnesses that reported altercation between two students, which occurred on the edge of the Ridgway High School campus at the intersection with Morgan Street. Moments later, a 17-year-old victim showed up at a local trauma center with 2 gunshot wounds and reported to the officers that he had been shot there on the Ridgway High School campus. As the investigation continues, officers learned that the shooter had handed the gun to another individual, and that individual left the school campus with that firearm. The shooter actually returned to a classroom there on the Ridgway High School campus and was identified by officers who worked in close coordination with the school officials and the school resource officer in the scene, and safely took the shooter into custody there in the classroom. At this point, the information that we have is that the victim is in stable condition. He has 2 gunshot wounds to his upper body and is expected to survive that incident. It also appears that this was an isolated act of violence between those 2 individuals. The evidence shows that they had a verbal altercation there in the street fronting the school, and the suspect produced a handgun, fired multiple rounds. 2 of those rounds struck the victim in that area. At this point, there are no other students that are suspected as being involved in this incident. The evidence is very clear that the one shooter was involved, and there's no evidence to show that there was a threat to the other students on the campus. There was no evidence to suggest that there was plans for any further acts of violence. This appeared to be an impromptu incident that followed a verbal altercation fronting the school.